new screen.
But the thing is, yeah, but I've realised though that when I'm not using it, it's there. So actually, I can see. It's only when we record the podcast. But to be fair, the only screens I need are this one where I've got the IMDb stuff, and that one so I can see what we're doing. So actually, I don't really need that.
You could buy one of the a stand and have it coming across.
Yeah,
so then it's not even attached to your desk. Then you can move it anywhere.
I might have to look into getting one of those.
They're really cheap. Just get it off eBay or Amazon Basics one.
I might look into getting that. That might be easier. Because that would help when I'm at the missus's place. Because I've been sometimes I've been holding the microphone like that, talking. So every now and then it's like, hello, no, wait.
Oh, I've noticed.
Yeah, we get stand, aren't we? Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And of course, once again, I had already started recording because I figured, why not start part 2 of Planet Terror talking about your bloody microphone and your screen? Because that is how the last episode started.
Yes, it does. Change the subject. Oh, look, we've been joined by the dog. There we go. The dog's joined us.
I be honest, when you mentioned the dog was there, I was like, is that a pile of clothes or no? Oh, that is the dog. Okay, yeah. There is the dog, yeah.
Oh, there she is.
There she is. Lovely.
There she is.
Well, thankfully, thank God, she's sleeping and she doesn't end up like the dog in Planet Terror ends up, which we'll get to. But
yes, no, not happy about that.
We had to split Planet Terror up into 2 parts because just like Grindhouse, there was so much to talk about. So this is the part 2. It's kind of, we did 2/3 of it, I'd say. Part 1.
I reckon we did. I would say we did 2/3 because the last third of the film is very rapid.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. We ended up going a bit longer than we expected for the last recording. That's why it was part 1, and now we have part 2. But for some reason, you're weirdly starting with this one. This is the Dreadcast. This is going to be episode 21, but part 2 of our Planet Terror review. Welcome. Find us on Instagram and TikTok at the Dreadcast. I'm getting this out the way quick.
We always do.
Find the podcast on Spotify, Amazon, Audible, Podbean, Apple, Google, and YouTube channel where if you're watching this, you can find all the past content like trailer reactions and the Let's Plays done by yours truly.
That's right.
There we go. I think I got all the...
Yeah.
I think I got it out of the way quick there. Oh! Send us stuff.
Oh.
Emails.
And send us stuff at the Dreadcastpodcast at gmail.com. Has anyone actually sent us anything?
Have a quick look.
Although to be fair, I'm going to have a quick look. Although to be fair, most of the time it's pinging up with... See, now I have to use my third screen and now this arm's in the way. Oh, God. Let's have a look. No, but someone's put something on social. That was right. We got a I'm assuming someone from Mexico commented on our Slumber Party Massacre episode. It starts off with excelente. So it's like, nice, excelente, cool. Western something or other, encanting my boom sex.
There's finally a comment on it?
Yeah, someone from the Republic of Ecuador saying gracias to us, excelente, for something to do with the boom sex. I'm going to translate this and see what this is.
I'll take it. We'll take it.
I'm going to do Google Translate.
We'll take the 20,000 odd views on that Slumber Party Massacre episode. By the way, folks, Slumber Party Massacre was a previous podcast of ours, which has apparently blown up on our YouTube channel now. But it's we reviewed 1982 Slumber Party Massacre, so go check it out. It was a fantastic review, great film. If you like classic slashers, go check it out. You've translated it, haven't you? Okay, what does the one comment say? Or would you rather not?
No, it's not. It's nothing harmless. It's just odd. It's excellent classic western. All right, that can refer to the film. And I love boom sex very much. I don't know. Maybe she's getting the name of the slash confused. Maybe. I don't know. Greetings from Arenillas, Republic of Ecuador, South America. Thank you and blessings.
Yeah,
so
sure,
maybe,
fine.
Actually,
It's
a good comment. That's cool. I might
positive.
reply saying, I'm just going to reply saying gracias.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't much negativity in there. I mean,
No,
this person told us what they like. I mean, yeah, fine.
they did.
Yeah. And you can find
And I hope.
other great videos like that on the YouTube channel with amazing comments. So go check it out.
Yep. Go find them.
Right, let's finish this film.
Yes.
And we finished Perfect Ending, which I did add the missing reel.
We did a little
at the
reference
end.
there. Oh,
Yeah,
we did. Yes.
I did add it where we just cut and the missing reel happens at the end in the middle of Planet Terror. And
I must admit. Now the thing is, I should know that you just record without telling me. I should know this by now. I always forget those.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I was going to suggest that when we came back into this episode, we would have just had you sitting going, and that is why it is the greatest scene of all time. Oh, we didn't record it, did we? And just have that little lead in.
And yeah, so that scene is an amazing scene. Yeah, it's the best
really
scene
was.
of the film. It's fantastic. So anyway, we move on.
Yep. There we go.
There we go.
Yes.
So
But it was, to be fair, I think we touched upon. I don't know if we touched upon it in the last episode. We were only recording it last night, so I don't know. Well, you watching it a little bit later. We recorded it last night for us. But the first time I watched it, I think myself and along with quite a few people actually believed that the film was broken.
yeah, it was
And
a
I
big
paused it.
misconception.
Yeah, I looked at this going, "Oh, I'm about to see some 18 rated scenes here. Oh, is my copy broken? Oh, okay, odd." And for yonks, I just believed that I'd seen a crap copy.
I think that
But
was
no.
that was a big belief for most people, and especially in theaters. I think people even complained about it. But
It's interesting you mentioned that, actually. As you know, T loves his IMDb trivia. T's
Yeah.
trivia. Here we go.
Yep.
A lot of people, when they obviously initially showed this in the States, because obviously didn't get the UK release, and they showed the whole thing, loads of people, when it first came out, just left after Planet Terror. Because
Yeah.
obviously it was Planet Terror and Death Proof when the new films came out. So many people, when they started seeing the fake trailers at the end of Planet Terror, went, "Cool, film's done," and just left. And it was, do you mind, Cara? It was a few bits later when people realised that they were walking out. They had to put signs up with the Planet Terror saying Planet Terror is followed by Death Proof, so
Yep.
they would stay in the cinemas.
yeah, I mean, for the most, this is a very niche concept, the Grindhouse thing. For the most part,
Yeah.
people then you're going to tell people, oh no, wait, there's another film to watch. Are people then going to really go, okay, yeah, I'll go back in, or are people really going to be like, oh no, I can't, I'm tired, I've already watched the film, I can't,
Yeah.
I'm not going to. That needed to be nipped in the bud ASAP, like on the advertising and the marketing of the film.
That's where you need to advertise. It's a two-part
Yeah,
it's a two-part feature, and because the other thing is, obviously, if you were then to say, after you watched an hour and a half film followed by probably 10 minutes or so of trailers, to then be told, by the way, you've got another hour and a half-ish film to watch.
yeah.
I think most people might have been, well, I didn't really plan on sitting in the cinema for 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's like, I've got stuff to do.
I've got things to do, yeah, not sit for another film. Anyway, so I don't know why you would start listening to a part 2 of a film review, but to catch you up,
If you haven't seen part 1,
in fact, good point.
back.
Go back and watch it. But if
Go
you're
back.
that lazy, the easiest catch up, monsters are attacking, survivors have held up in this diner. We now come back to the diner on fire.
that's right.
That's about
No
it.
idea how it happened.
It doesn't matter.
Missing scene.
It doesn't matter.
Clearly explained it. It doesn't matter because everything's a fire, and we now have everyone together because we've been joined by, we've been joined by the doctor's wife, and her father, and the dead son because he shot himself.
Yes, she's
So
still
everyone
carrying
is down
Tony
here.
around.
Also, the babysitters have turned up along with Skip, who they're here as well.
Yeah, I don't know if we mentioned Skip. Skip is the boss of Cherry's old go-go dance
That's
place
right.
job that she used to work at. So everyone's
not
here.
actually
The
an
gang's
actor.
all here. He's not an actor.
No, he was actually Robert Rodriguez's estate agent. But the fact
I did not know
he's
that.
He's not acting in the film at all. basically that is just him, and he went, "Just do you in this film." He went, "All right." So he's not acting; he's just being himself.
No, that's the thing about acting. I mean, you obviously know more about acting than me. You do voice acting, but something I've always not been told but heard is that the best acting is when you're trying not to act.
Yes.
Don't try to act because it's not organic enough.
So, yeah, sometimes if you try to make it as natural as you can, because sometimes if you do it too much, well, it depends on what you're in. Mm-hmm. So, for example, film and TV acting, you try and make it as natural as possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, on stage you do as well, but on stage, usually you have to kind of turn it up a little bit because you have to have that above, kind of bigger than life, especially when you're things like Shakespeare and that lot.
Yeah.
No one talks like that nowadays, so you're kind of going above and beyond. Yes, thankfully. Yeah. But imagine trying to do this in Shakespearean language.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. But for him not being an actor, I wouldn't have known that. I think a lot of people would have known that. He's not the best, but
Well, see now, do you know? Now, obviously, you've got the big Grindhouse book there. Does it explain how Robert Rodriguez filmed his son when his son shot himself?
Yeah, they were originally not going to do it.
That's right. Yeah. I only found that out recently, and they actually filmed loads of endings for it.
Yeah.
And then never, and then he just went, "Nah, I'm fine."
I
did like it was quite sweet though how he was like, "I'd rather not shoot someone else's kid. I know, I'll shoot my own kid."
My own. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, that makes it absolutely. That's fine. That makes it so much better.
Can you imagine the conversation he had with his partner? It's like, "Honey, I'm going to kill a kid in this film." It's like, "Don't you dare. Can I shoot our kid?" "Yeah, right, go for it."
"What's on tap for today at the studio, honey?" "Well, shooting our child in the face."
"Dad, what am I doing today?" "You're going to die today."
Oh, that's morbid. So yeah, the gang's all here, apart from one main person he joins the group in the next location, shall we say. We alluded to it in the last episode. It's Abby. He's not with them.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I could remember there for a second.
But there are most gangs here, and then we get some updates because of the missing reel. Sheriff Haig, Michael Bean, has been shot by his own deputy, Tom Savini, Deputy Tolo, which is kind of you get precursor to that earlier on, where I mentioned they get to the hospital and he's panicking and he thinks he shoots a sicko, but it's just an elderly person. He's not very good at his job. And there's a great line of Haig's like, I didn't think I'd lost, but I never thought I'd be shot by my own deputy. And Tom Savini, being Tom Savini, he gets his comeuppance.
He does. It's
point
great. It is.
Before they leave the diner, because the diner is on fire, they need to leave. Sickos burst in and quite literally tear him limb from limb.
They do.
It's a beautiful effect shot. Yeah. So he's gone. The other couple of things that happen while we're still in the diner. You had a really cool shot where they're trying to escape. They all go outside. They try to advance on the sickos. They're all armed to the teeth. And they start shooting the sickos, and the sickos kind of decide, hey, we got to back off. They turn around, start walking to the camera. But as they're walking, they're getting shot, and the blood just splatters over the camera.
That's right, it does, doesn't it?
Covers the camera. Covers it.
No, I believe this is correct. This is also where we start to know that Sheriff Haig now knows who Ray is.
Yes.
Now knows he is El Rey. Because it's when the horde descends and they're going to leave, he says, "Give him the guns. Give him all the guns." To which Savini's like, "But why?" Goes, "Just give him the guns." It's like, "If I knew you were El Rey." Like, "Yes, sir."
But the only special thing he does is spin them around.
Oh, yeah, but it's intense. It's like, I mean, if he just went up to a sicko, he probably could have just chopped its head off.
JT in the background, that boy's got the devil in him.
Oh, yeah.
So good, so cheesy, so good.
It's great.
And he never misses. That's El Rey's catchphrase. I never miss.
Oh, that was. We'll come back to that line.
Yeah. Oh, it gets used brilliantly at the end. Yeah,
it's so good.
But pretty much as they're getting to leave, they need to get to El Rey's truck, and the only one that will just get up and do it is Cherry. So she, with Pegleg, rushes out with Elray covering her.
Yeah,
Pegleg
that's
and
right.
gets in the truck and rams it back into the diner. She could have killed everyone.
Oh yeah, quite easily, but no. She just rams in the back of this diner because this is all we get to. Ray is pretty much in charge now. I think Sheriff Haig is like, just listen to what he says.
Yeah.
And so we get El Ray saying, right, you've either got the choice of the truck, the car, the bike, or the bike, and that's it. So I believe.
Yeah.
So I don't know who drives the truck. I think Sheriff Haig drives the truck initially. You do? Good, because I can't remember who drives what.
Yeah. So we've got the car, because when they got to JT's before the missing reel, he showed again, I can't remember what the car brand is, but bike, the custom Harley. He mentions nice. Jesse James, like I don't know the name Jesse James.
Oh, it's made by Jesse. It's Jesse James. He was Harley. Yeah, it's East Coast Choppers.
Yes, that's it. So we've got the chopper. We've got the. I'm going to call it a Chevy. I'm not sure exactly what car make it is. Yeah. The Chevy gets JT driving it with Skip in the passenger seat, babysitter twins in the back, and just until they get outside, the dog and Dakota. The bike has Cherry and Ray, just till they get outside, and the truck has Sheriff Haig and some other people driving it. But it's when they get outside, he says something about... Oh, they get to Dakota's car, basically saying it's fucked. And have you got anything else I can ride? And she brings out Pony's little... He calls it a pocket bike, but it's basically a mini moto. It's about a meter long.
Yeah.
And you have to squat on it with a tiny little hand.
It's like a clown. It's like a mini clown bike.
It's like Krusty riding the mini bike in The Simpsons.
Yes, it is. Oh, it's great.
It's incredible. So you've got El Ray on this bike. They're going down the highway, and the visual of him on this little bike shooting sickos. It's fantastic.
Because this is also where Sheriff. Is it Sheriff Earl? Oh, what was his name?
Oh yeah, Earl McGraw. He stays behind.
Earl McGraw, Sheriff McGraw. He stays behind. It's like, I'm leaving now. It's like, but why, Daddy? Well, I gotta go in alone.
I'll take care, Mister. Yeah, I'll take care.
I'm never gonna see you again. Bye bye.
Not true.
And no, but it's what I did like about this bit is where they're gearing up. They're going on the road. It's like, right, we gotta. This is it. This is our team. We're going down. And there's a nice moment between the babysitters and Dakota where they say, look, we're sorry about your son. Like, yeah. And then literally it's like a minute or two later, they give her the shotgun. She's like, fuck yeah.
Fucking cool. Yeah.
Cocks it with such aggression. You're like, whoa. All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
And then that's fantastic.
Yeah, they give the apology and Dakota's kind of like, yeah, whatever. Like you give a shit.
Yeah. I think it was around about this point in the film where, again, it's a little throwback to older films, because I think I noticed that sometimes when they were, I think, driving along or something, you'd notice some very small skips in filming, which again, older films had that. Sometimes they would film something, get it wrong, and go to do it again, but it wouldn't always potentially line up with what they filmed beforehand. So sometimes you get the car going forward and then something go wrong, but they cut at a certain point, and then the car, instead of being here, would be here. Is this to do
with the dog?
No.
Oh, okay.
The dog's my next thing, and I'm okay. I forgot about the dog until I watched this again. And I was like,
because I feel like there's a continuity area with the dog.
Is there?
Well, the dog is with JT, right? In the car.
Yeah.
You got 3 vehicles. You got the car. You got 4 technically.
Got the car, the truck,
the mini bike out first. Then I believe the Harley is behind El Ray. Then it's the car. Then it's the truck. Now, if the dog jumps,
the bike?
I think the bike is like up front with El Ray.
Oh, but Dakota's not on the back of the car. Dakota's on the back of the bike with Cherry.
Yeah, she got on the back of the bike with Cherry just as they left the diner. But if the dog jumps out of JT's car and ends up completely eviscerated underneath the truck. But the thing is, the babysitter twins then get sprayed with the dog's blood.
I've got the scene up now. Shall I check?
Yeah, because
right,
go for it. Because
let's have a look. So we have El Rey, by the looks of it, doing a wheelie.
God, he does do a wheelie. Yeah, it's so cool. So
El Rey's doing a wheelie. So behind him, we've got Dakota and Cherry Darling, who of course introduces herself as Cherry Darling, to which she replies, "Yes, you damn are." So,
sure
and then we've got the car. So that's the car with the baby.
Exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
El Rey doing some. Also, I'm going to point this out. Another great sort of practical effect is when they hit the zombie. Is when Sheriff Haig hits the zombies. You can see it's just a mannequin stuffed with like blood and guts.
Yeah, it just ends up hanging on the truck.
It's just ragdolls. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, so it goes pocket bike, Harley, car.
Fucking hell, he loves this. He loved this scene. I can tell.
But
the truck is at.
And the car has the dog on, right?
I think it's a deliberate mistake. The blood goes forward.
Yeah, because the dog comes off the car, goes back to the truck, but yet the blood comes back to the car where the babysitter twins are, and they get showered in the dog's blood.
I'm going to play it back slightly. So I don't want to watch this dog.
How many times do you want to keep watching?
I've just sped it up. It's literally just Chef Haig. No, I'm gonna go slower. It does. It looks like it goes backwards.
Yeah.
Let's go. So he squishes that one there. Damn it!
I mean, the beauty of it being
It's also actually, if you watch it slow, it is again. It's a fake dog.
Oh yeah.
You can see it very clearly there.
It's not a real dog, is it? But I think the beauty of it, because of the type of film it is.
Dog. I hope not.
Because of the type of film it is, having the continuity error just here and there, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You can get away with it.
I think that's probably, again, that's one of those things where usually on IMDb you would have the goofs going, the dog got hit, the blood went forward rather than backwards. But in Grindhouse, this kind of film, like, the blood went forward. It's probably on purpose, though.
Excuse me, I saw this and I'd like to point it out. I'd like my money back, please, and refilm the shot.
I carried out this experiment. I can confirm that when I hit my dog, the blood went backwards.
Yes.
You also owe me one dog.
And normally with experiments, you have to do them multiple times. So the neighbour's dogs were also used in the experiments, and
I'm now wanted for animal abuse.
Yeah. But science will prevail.
Science, bitch.
So at the end of their
no, we have to go for a complete tangent now. I know it's a tangent. I love my TikTok. All right, I love the Dreadcast TikTok.
It's pretty good.
And it was a great. I didn't realize this, but it came up, and I thought it was a Malcolm in the Middle sketch, like a Malcolm in the Middle scene from great
Malcolm
2000 show, and it shows how waking up from having a nightmare. And he describes the entire events and the characters from Breaking Bad perfectly.
You know that was a bit. That was a skit they did.
No, I didn't know this.
Yeah, it was a skit they did after Breaking Bad finished. Yeah,
I found that out afterwards in the in the comments. You know, you always give them comments, and the whole time watching was like, my God, he's like, did they just really create this great scene in Malcolm Hill? And then years later, and when I read the comments, I went, oh no, it's from Breaking Bad. Oh right, cool. But even so, it was so fantastic how they sat there and went, oh, let's just do a funny ending. Do Malcolm in the Middle. I thought it was fantastic. Anyway, tangent aside.
That was a tangent, but what did that have to do with anything to do with the dog being killed?
No, it's because I said science, bitch, which is from Breaking Bad.
As long as there was a link, that's all that matters.
There was a link. There were always connections in this film.
There we go.
And now back to the dog getting squished.
Well, the dog's squished. The dog is eviscerated.
As I had in my notes, up to this point, it was a fantastic film, and now it's the worst film ever made.
Worst film ever made.
Because they killed the dog. It was the worst film ever made. How dare they? But this is also when I realised that JT was in Machete. I hadn't put that connection before there. But he is. Yeah.
Yep, he is in Machete.
God damn it.
So they get to the end of their I guess their freeway of massacring the sickos, and they end up with a massive group of sickos just standing on the bridge. but then they get completely formed by Bruce Willis and his soldier boys. What do you do? You
I just wanted to see when Shaun of the Dead was 2004. Okay, perhaps it was 3 years later. Because this little, I thought this was a really cool little scene where you got the survivors and they meet the army, because a lot of this type of scene is quite prevalent in a lot of zombie films, infection films.
The army turn
where
up.
they was cross, but it heavily reminded me of the end scene of Shaun of the Dead.
Yes, where they're at the pub.
Although when they're in the pub and they go outside and the soldiers are there, and you're like, great, the army's here to save the day. No.
Well, technically, this isn't the good army. This is Bruce Willis and his merry men of mercenaries that need the sicko poison.
However, could you not say they are... I mean, effectively, all they've done so far is just tell this Abby guy that they need this gas to survive. And Abby, effectively, is a bit of a dick at the start. And if you just give it in the stuff, they probably be like, cool, now can you heal us?
They need it for them. The Bruce Willis and his men need it for them because they're already infected with it, which we find out later on. They were at ground zero when they discovered this in Afghanistan. But they need it to delay the negative effects. But also, it's technically a biological weapon. You don't know what they're going to do with it. So that's kind of why you can't trust them.
You can't, but you could effectively argue that this film, if you could have done it, the film could have carried on anyway, even if they got the gas. Because right at the start, the reason Abby kills his former acquaintance is because he lost 2 of the sickos.
Yeah.
So those sickos are actually already out there, even if the gas wasn't released.
But then we even discussed that. Do the sickos don't eat the flesh? They don't spread the virus like a zombie would. They're just monsters.
That is true.
Again, back to the sand. They're just mutated monsters rather than spreading their virus. It's the gas that does it.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, we could go there.
I mean, there's still 2 monsters on the loose at the beginning.
There are. I wonder if they'll ever do like a little short, and it's like, the 2 sickos that, the night of the 2 sickos, and it's just these 2 sort of aimlessly walking around, wondering where everyone is. It is basically just us, yeah.
It's basically this right now.
2 sickos start a podcast, coming next.
So, Bruce Willis and his merry men, they take our survivors hostage, bring them back to the army base. Yes. Quote unquote, Troublemaker Studios, because the army base is just Troublemaker Studios, just painted up and lit up to look like an old army base. And this is where Abby finally joins the crew. And we get a big plot dive into the chemical that is DC2, why they want it, and how to try and stop it.
Yeah, because this is where Abby reveals that he was working on the cure. Yeah,
we are all the cure.
Of course, he's working on the cure. However, of course, he's probably not gonna let Lieutenant Muldoon know this, because obviously, if he does, says, "Look, this is the cure." Yeah, his use is effectively over. There is no reason to keep him alive.
No, not one bit.
No.
And once he's done discussing all the details behind the DC2, we get Mr. Tarantino arriving as the rapist. Leave them wanting more. Where you put a break at the end of just introducing the rapist. Leave them wanting more about a rapist in the film. There we go.
You come back to T doing funny voices, funny faces.
So, Mr. Tarantino has the rapist. He takes Cherry and Dakota back into. He takes them into an elevator. I think they're going down or up. I don't know if it's ever specified exactly where they're going.
I don't think it's specified. No, it's. I like this because it was a really cool use of the red light. A red filter, because the scene in the elevator where he's talking to her about being a go-go dancer gets quite dark, not dark, but very intimidating, and the red light is just always there, and he's I mean, well, obviously, he's doing a fantastic job at acting, but it's not a very pleasant bit to watch where he's literally forcing this gun into the face of Cherry and saying, "You will dance or you will die."
It's incredibly intimidating.
Oh yeah,
and not a foot in the scene. Surprisingly, I guess it's because it's not his film. No feet in this scene.
I think even the second soldier he's with, he's built like a tank. He's a big lad. You can even see he's sort of looking there, going, oh, "All right, dude.
Yeah,
calm down."
Now the thing with the magenta, so basically, if you haven't seen the shot, it's a single shot. I believe it's single shot, focusing on Cherry and Quentin, and suddenly a magenta filter just sweeps across the screen. And the reason he did that, Rodriguez, is because sometimes in older prints, over time, the film would just start to deteriorate and bleed and take on this magenta sort of look. So he figured it would just be quite cool just to do it for that scene, make it even more intimidating and tense.
I would love to make a film like this. I think it'd be great. This is why I really hope they do. It's sad that they didn't do a Grindhouse 2, but it would have been fantastic if they made another one.
It's not so much that you get so much freedom, but it's so much more creativity.
Yeah,
so much more creativity than a bog standard film. Like even shoot this on film as well, so even you still get that effect.
I mean, we saw it with not a horror film, but when they did The Artist. I can't remember how it was, a few years ago, and it was a black and white film.
Yeah,
and they just redid a black and white film, and so many people went, "Why are you making a black and white film? We have color." But it had such a great nostalgia feeling that a lot of the elder generations went, "This is the film that I grew up watching." Yeah, they were black and white films. Yeah,
completely agree. Creativity will always trump, I don't know, following the trend, following the norm.
Oh, yeah.
So
there is a great moment here where we get to see a little Easter egg for a fake trailer.
I know this is exactly what I was going to bring up, and it's not one of the fake trailers that we talked about.
Oh, is it not?
No.
Oh, I thought it was one of the fake trailers.
No, it's not Werewolf Women of the SS, if that's what you were thinking.
Oh, see, that's what I thought it was.
It's women in cages.
Oh, in cages?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know this one. Let me look this up.
So while you look it up, so basically...
this is going to either show me a film or some stuff I don't want to have in my search history.
After the elevator scene, they end up in what looks like a control room with a couple of other soldiers, and Quentin... I can't remember Quentin's actual name. I think he's called the Rapist. He's basically ordering Cherry to dance, and Cherry's clearly upset. She's teary-eyed. She's just stumbling around her peg leg, and he is still verbally forcing her to dance. But just before this happens, we get a quick glimpse of soldiers watching what we just discussed, this fake trailer, this fake film, on a little monitor. It does look like Werewolf Women of the SS. Cool. Yeah.
It does. I can see how it would be. Yeah, you could.
It's very similar. Very similar.
Okay, it's not showing me any. Okay, no, I take it back.
Yeah.
It's
very similar. Very similar.
Scroll down far enough, you start to see things. You were like, oh.
Yeah, I bet. So while she's dancing, he starts to use the phrase of "break a leg, break it all off," and that kind of just sends her over the limit, and she does a roundhouse kick with the wooden table leg, stuns him. He falls to the floor, and then she's like, "Dance for me, motherfucker."
Yeah.
Splinters him in the eye, snapped it off, so he's got a wooden, like a bit of, looks like a sort of 2x2 size sticking out of his eye.
Yeah, something like that.
Pulls to the floor. I think the guard actually pulls her off. The jacked up guard, he pulls her off, and then we get the transformation of Quentin Tarantino.
We do, yes.
The beautiful transformation.
Because doesn't the other soldier, when he starts to transform, he even yells at him to put his gas back on.
Yeah.
And I think at this point in time, Tarantino's character's like, nah, fuck it.
He's like, fuck the gas. I'm just going to have to make this quick. Yeah, but he needs to make it a bit quicker than he does.
Oh, yeah. It's great because obviously he's mutating rapidly, and I reckon the reason he says he ignores the gas is because at this point in time he knows he's probably fucked. So he keeps on going, and we get this again. Robert Rodriguez, sorry.
Yep.
Just has a thing with ball sacks in this film, because we get this really slow-mo shot of Tarantino's nuts as they just sort of flop off.
That's not his nuts. That's his dick.
Oh.
That's his full-on penis.
All right.
Not just his balls. That's the whole shebang falling off.
Either way, we get a slow-mo shot of it. So there you go.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that CGI looks a bit... I would have rather that be prosthetic, just hanging off. But literally, it just melts. You see it just melting and dripping off.
I don't think Abby would be like... I don't think even Abby would be like, I want those in my pickle jar. Like, no.
Now, I don't know if you've seen this, but I'll show you it now. Found the picture in the book of how they did Quentin as the monster, as he transforms into the monster, because the gas just takes over here. So what you see, he basically starts to... Looks like he's about to throw up. And he basically... He's a completely like melted monster. And he throws up his insides and the guts come out. But
he does, doesn't
the
he?
way they did it, if you can see this...
Oh, yeah.
So you've got... There's actually two men in green screen there. And a model, a prosthetic of Quentin, his body. So you've got one guy holding the fake body, and then you've got one guy behind this guy who's not in the shot, holding this pipe, which pushes out the guts through the body.
That's cool. Oh,
yeah. And
wow.
there's his penis.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's a pretty incredible shot.
That's cool. I like that. But I pretty much... Yep. Oh, there's more. Oh, yeah, Lieutenant Muldoon. We'll get into him in a second.
This book's amazing.
So basically, to cut Tarantino's attempted rape short, he doesn't succeed because I'm fairly certain he just melts.
Oh!
Into a pile of slush.
You forgot, actually, there's one more thing we missed during his melting stage. Because Dakota she's sort of subdued in the corner.
Oh, she is.
She has a sneaky set of her anesthetic needles on her, but she also has an attachment gun.
Yeah, that's right. I remember now.
So as Quentin's doing his business, his penis is melting, she completely whips out this gun, fires an anesthetic in his other eye, also fires one in the legs of the other guard, so he falls down, and that adds to his melting and grotesque stage. Yeah.
Oh,
was it useless skill number 27 or something? She has loads of useless skills.
Something like that.
That's such a cool little gun.
I must admit, it's interesting that one of her useless skills is when they're escaping JT, she's like, useless skill number 14, can ride a motorbike. It's like, that's a pretty useful skill. I would say that's a pretty useful skill right now.
None of these are useless. Self-defense is not useless.
Yeah, I think if you got on the motorbike and then someone got on the back and you're like, I can't ride a motorbike, you're like, well, get off it then.
Yeah.
Why are you riding it?
That's useless.
That's useless, but you can ride it. That's useful.
So Quentin's melting pretty much, and El Rey and Abby. We forgot how. Obviously, they escaped.
El Rey and Abby
they escaped their prison. We didn't explain how they escaped the prison cell. You remember?
How did they do? Did they stage a? I can't remember actually.
So JT.
It's got something to do with, something to do with JT.
JT starts doing a bit about his barbecue sauce and starts just a bit of blood, just blood, just salt. It's salt, blood. Blood is salty. Just needs a bit of salt. And he's acting a bit aloof, a bit crazy. And El Rey can see what he's doing. He's like, no, don't do this. I've got this covered. No. And he keeps going and goes to attack a guard, but the guard shoots him.
Yeah.
And his plan kind of fumbles, but El Rey managed to grab a gun. He's willing to give her the gun up, but the way he holds it is fantastic. He holds it so the barrel is pointing towards him with a finger still on the trigger. Goes to hand it to the guard, and just in the split second, spins it and pop, bang, right in the chest of the guard. It's brilliant. And that's how they escape.
It's great. That's right. Yeah, it's a great moment of gun fu right there. It's fantastic.
I love that phrase, gun fu. It's brilliant.
Gun fu, yeah. It's amazing. Of course, obviously, yes, JT gets shot. So we will come back to JT because there is actually there's a very tender moment between JT and Haig. But obviously, it's a
brilliant scene.
I didn't take a note on this. We'll get to it in a second.
Yeah.
Basically, so El Rey and Abby escape, and I believe they tell the other captors, "Look, we'll meet you outside. Go." So they all get out, and of course we're left with JT and Sheriff Haig, who Sheriff Haig is obviously succumbing to his wounds. He's messed up, and JT is shot in the chest. So they both know that they're fucked. They know that they're dead, but I can't remember who it is. For some reason, I think it's El Rey hands JT the detonator. Goes, by the way, the base is rigged. Here you go.
Yeah.
To which, of course, you sit there going, okay, I don't know when you had time to do this, but again, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Clearly, there's another missing scene that they just went, oh yeah, take that out.
It's
fine. Exactly. And it's a really nice moment here where the two brothers, obviously, it is a little bit late in the film. Obviously, they don't blow up just yet. No, but they have a chat about why there seems to be this weird brotherly, not rivalry. Well, yeah, maybe a bit of rivalry, but a bit of bickering between the two of them. And of course, this is where we find out that Sheriff Haig is pissed that JT never gave him the secret family sauce.
Yeah.
To which JT usually replies, there will never be a barbecue chef who will ever give you his recipe in Texas. And of course, that's when JT replies, you keep raising my rent, however, so of course I'm never going to give you the barbecue sauce. At which point, Sheriff Haig goes, well, if you just told me that, I would have lowered your rent, and I would have... And they realize they spent so many years just messing with each other.
Yeah.
Bickering because they just didn't understand that if one person did one thing, the other person was like, oh, cool, you gave me the recipe. Here's low rent.
They were both too stubborn to realize what they were really meaning. Yeah.
And this is fantastic, because obviously this scene is a little bit... Again, but we're talking about it now. Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that Sheriff Haig goes, I'll tell you what, after we get out of here, I'll drop your rent. I'll get rid of it. It'll be gone. JT goes, all right, cool. He goes, the secret for the best in Texas is one drop. And you just see Sheriff Haig going, oh shit, oh yeah. Oh,
he just whips out a notebook and starts writing it down.
It's just JT's secret sauce. Oh, got it. Obviously, he doesn't get to the end of it, as we find out a little bit later.
There's a little things in that, though, where he mentions about the recipe that he doesn't use no goddamn foil.
He doesn't, yeah.
Uses spring water straight from the river.
Yeah,
I like that, yeah.
Fresh tomatoes?
No, he uses fresh tomatoes. Fresh, gotta be fresh.
Tomatoes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really nice scene.
Anything? No.
Because
myself, best in Texas.
It's a nice scene because also as the viewer, they're not going to make it. That's why they have the detonator. Yeah. So it's almost like this doesn't matter, but it means something to them.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little scene.
They make it obvious they're not going to leave because I think it's JT who says it, where Ray's like, "Come on, we got to go," and it's like, "Nah, I think we'll just stay here a little while." Yeah. And that's the point when you realize, you think, oh, because I got to be honest, JT is one of the nicest characters. I mean, they're all pretty nice, but JT's one of those very wholesome. It's like this man's just a barbecue chef.
Yeah.
In the middle of a zombie apocalypse, and all he wants to do every time you see him, he's always trying to help someone. It's like he meets Fergie. It's like, can I help you? No, I'm right. He meets Cherry. It's like, oh hi, would you like some ribs? El Rey comes in. Oh hey, do you want some food, drink? What? He's always trying to help people.
Yeah,
it's just it's such a lovely character.
He is a great character, yeah, and I think he did a great job portraying him. Jeff Fahey. Yeah. I can never pronounce his last name.
I think it's Fahey.
Fahey.
We'll have to look it up. We'll have to look up and find out.
So, El Rey and Abby, they find Cherry, and they find Dakota.
Yes.
And again, because El Rey had so much time to do stuff, to tinker around with things, he customized an M16 assault rifle to fit Cherry's leg, and that she can somehow control it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's fine. It just worked. Okay.
He's the unofficial other member of the A team. It's like, we're getting an enemy. I've got a spanner and a bullet. Leg machine gun.
It's fucking MacGyver up in here. he MacGyvered this assault rifle, sticks it on Cherry's leg, and instantly she knows how to use it. He's like, blow down that wall for me, will you, Cherry? It's where some other soldiers are. And she just uses, somehow, telepathically maybe, uses the grenade launcher, sticks her leg out, and boom, blows them away.
I know, it's just fantastic. The other thing is you got to wonder is, where do all these bullets come from? Does her body just make them now? Because they seem to be never ending. It doesn't matter. Yeah, no, that's right. She blows the door, and then the guards inside, she hikes her leg up and does like a sweep.
Unloads a clip.
Unloads a sweep, yeah. And
I would love it. I would just love it if they ever did like a parody and they had El Rey just appearing on Blue Peter. It's like, today, kids, we're going to show you how to build a gun leg. And he just pops up. Here's what I made earlier. Literally a second later.
PVA glue and some toilet rolls and some kitchen roll and paper mache it.
Yeah. And you'll need this paperclip.
Now, before all our survivors escape, we have one more person to deal with, apparently. We have Bruce Willis.
Dude, yes.
And he is down where all the shit, as he likes to call it, is. The DC-2.
Down with the shit.
Yeah. And Abby and El Rey find him. They have a nice little back and forth, nice little storytelling moment here about how they found the DC-2. They were hunting Osama bin Laden in Afghanistan, and they got a face full of it. So that's why they need it to control the negative effects.
Yeah.
But his negative effects are quite extreme.
Yeah. Well, this is what I was touching on in part 1 of this episode.
Yeah.
With the different not layers. No. I suppose layers. The different levels of these sickos.
Yeah.
Because we have the grunts, and then you have who they're just a bit mindless. They run around. They attack anyone, and then we have sort of a slightly higher, maybe with Joe in the hospital, who seems to have an awareness of, this thing hurts people. I can use this actually. Here we go.
Yeah.
So then you have above that, you have Dr. William Block, who is clearly intelligent, even though he's infected.
He has consciousness.
Around there, you have the ghoul lady. We don't know where she's from. She's
Dakota's mum.
Dakota's mum, sorry.
Yeah.
Who's infected, but not as badly as the others, etc. And then you've then got Lieutenant Muldoon is somewhere on the higher echelons, because here he is. Look at that lovely face. Because he is clearly highly infected.
He looks like a cauliflower.
But even when he's mutated, it's still him.
One thing I like about him, though, just before El Rey and Abby get to him, he's got 2 lieutenants with him. And he's asking where Quentin's character is. And I forgot to mention this, that Quentin's phrase, the rapist, his phrase when he wanted to get busy with Cherry was, I'm going to get my dick wet. And when Bruce Willis' character asks where rapist is, the lieutenants reply with, he's getting his dick wet, sir. Just get him the fuck down here. I forgot about that. I just love that phrase. He's getting his dick wet, sir.
It's that I think at that point in time you could probably say that these soldiers are not nice soldiers, because because I mean if a lieutenant's like, all right, he's getting busy with someone,
nonchalant about it,
yeah, whereas I think most of the time that would not happen, highly wrong. But I do see this is again, Bruce Willis in this film is another clever marketing technique that they did.
Big name.
Because it's a big name on what looks like a very small B-movie film. Because to get Bruce Willis into this, he was barely in. I mean, obviously, he's pretty much not in this film. But every time you see Bruce Willis, there is no one near him. I mean, apart from the 2 lieutenants, but you never see him directly next to one of the main characters, because they filmed his shots separately. So he came on for I think a few days, and then that was it.
This is a trend with Bruce Willis' later on career. He didn't do much.
Yeah, and a lot of the times when you think you're looking at Bruce Willis from behind, it's actually just a stand-in. Because they're like, right, Bruce Willis is done, he's gone. So just get someone as tall as him to stand in the shot.
Yeah, it's unfortunate what's happened with Bruce Willis. Like, his mental health has completely deteriorated over the years, and most of his films I mean, this was 15 years ago now, Grindhouse. So he was with it then. But clearly,
this would have been. This was only probably just after he'd done like Die Hard 4.
Yeah,
not long after Die Hard 4.
Like yeah, not long after Die Hard 4. But he was still mentally with it. He was still cognitive, shall we say? But yeah, they're clearly just shots of him. There's no one else there. He clearly did it for a quick payday, maybe, and that became a lot more apparent in his latest, later straight to video films that are just bad.
I mean, even in the Expendables, you see that he appears.
Yeah,
he appeared right at the start. I mean, this would have been probably. I mean, obviously we didn't know about it at this point in time, but when probably his mental state was deteriorating, because he would appear at the start and then he might appear later on at the end of the film. It's literally 2 scenes and that's it. But obviously, that can be helped,
Well, he gets taken out because he literally grows into, like I said, a cauliflower. He grows.
Really does.
His arm becomes 4 times the size of a claw. His head expands but it's crazy the way he looks. I'll put a clip here, as you can see, for the video viewers. You'll see it here.
Plus, another little cool editing thing they did is as Lieutenant mutates, so does the grain. The grain pops more.
Yep.
And I love that little what's the word? Not connect. I'm going to say connection, something like that. Transition. Yes, he's getting bigger, so the grain's like it's almost like it can't contain his mutation.
Well, they mentioned in part 1 how they purposefully. They didn't just put a filter over the whole film. They purposely added more scratches and damage and effects when big moments like this were happening.
Oh, yeah. And they did it. So Freddy... I keep saying Freddy, not Freddy. So, because Robert Rodriguez did it. It's a physical, isn't it? Physical deterioration. They actually did it to the film. Rather than CGI, it was like, no, if we just do it like this, much better.
Yeah, completely. Give the authenticity to it.
Yeah.
So
I loved it. There's so many great things in this film.
Yep, we now have... Where are we at now? The survivors. We're nearly there. We're nearly done with the terror.
How does Lieutenant Muldoon die? He just gets... Does he get... don't Abby and...
Yes, off camera, they shoot him.
Oh, yeah.
They unload their guns literally into him. You don't see him die. You don't see his deceased body. He is dead. Especially as the fact is, in a moment, the JT is about to let go of the detonator, and the army barracks is about to blow up. So
that's right. Yes. This is when. Yeah. So survivors are outside. Abby and El Rey, they get outside as well.
Yeah.
And this is obviously when we get the quite the sad moment where, Sheriff Haig he's going to write down the source, and I can't remember. JT says something to him. He says, "Oh, would that be a problem?" And he goes,
you got to take it to your grave, brother.
Yeah, he goes, "Yeah, you got to take it to your grave." Went, "I can do that," and dies.
I can do that.
Which point in time did you see JT going?
I love that he laughs as he's about to just blow up. Yeah, it's a great.
He knows his brother's dead. He's like, best in Texas.
Yeah. And that was their sign to move, because there were two helicopters at the army barracks. Is it at this point? I think it was back in the prison cell actually, where El Rey, he says he spotted the helicopters and asked who can fly a chopper, and Skip mentions I can fly it, but I'm not doing it. And then Cherry is just like, you're gonna fucking fly. So okay,
she shoves her like gun leg right up his nose, like, oh, okay.
So they basically need to get from point A to B where the helicopters are, and in between are an abundance of random walls and barbed wire fences.
Yeah, they're like
some more soldiers / sickos.
Just very odd, very tall concrete slabs.
Yeah, and so the point of the explosion was basically their green light for Cherry to go do her thing. And this is cheesy B movie to the max. It's beautiful. She hobbles along, the music kicks in, the riff. She's running, she sets off the grenade launcher, which then sets her in the air. While she's in midair, she then launches another grenade down to the army guys.
She goes high into the air.
She lands softly on the ground, spins unloads another magazine into these soldiers. Does a crab? Is it a crab?
Use this talent number 10 or whatever it was.
Yep, crab pose where she lifts her body into the air as a soldier had fired a rocket at her, and it goes underneath her back. Brilliant! It's just
fantastic.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And then just to top it off, after she's done that, she's casually lifted her leg, just blows the barrel. It's like, oh yeah, yes, B-movie cheese complete.
And then puts on the sunglasses to end it.
Oh god, yeah, she does, doesn't she? It's just great.
Before, were you about to talk about the head explosion?
Yes, I was. It's
okay.
fantastic.
Go for it.
Now, see, we're in the end game here for this film, and obviously, Abby is. You would think that they would protect Abby because obviously at this point in time, I think El Rey says, "Look, we've got to get to the helicopters."
He's very important.
Okay, it's very important, but clearly no one thinks that.
Yeah.
And it's like, right, we got to get to the next thing. We need to see how many soldiers are there. Who's going? No one off. I think Abby goes, "I'll go." And you would think the guy who literally about 5 minutes ago went, "By the way, I have the cure. Yeah. I know how to cure us all." You would have thought they were like, "No, not you." Tell you what, send El Rey, the dude who is like this gun fu monk master thing who can like chainsaw blade these pistols to do it because he never misses. But no, they send Abby, who it's great. This great like little running montage. I love it. It's fantastic. You've got Abby and some other people. I can't remember who they were behind him. And he does all this thing that's like it's great 70s actions. Like they get to wall. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Take cover. Have a look.
Oh yeah. Duck cover. But they get to the where the helicopters are, and Abby goes, "I'll have a look." Just sticks his head over, goes, "Cool." It's literally like watching a pumpkin explode.
Yeah,
oh god.
But the thing is, say for like the Dawn of the Dead explosion, the head explosion, or the scanners explosion, it's an explosion. This is the head sort of popped and then splits.
Yeah.
What on earth would do that to his head? A rocket would have exploded even more. A bullet wouldn't have done it. What the fuck? It made his head explode. It looked like it would have come on top from above it.
I mean, it's true, but see, it doesn't matter. Oh, it was probably Cherry. Maybe at this point, if Cherry was still flying around, maybe like one of her bullets just went.
With a friendly fire. Whoops. Yeah.
But either way, it rips his head to pieces, and they're just like, oh.
I also remember this.
They go. Oh yeah. I was about to say, there goes once Abby dies, it's like, right, cool. Well, humanity is now totally screwed because there's no cure.
And I think Cherry makes a comment of, "Don't suppose there's any other scientists around."
She does, doesn't she? Yes.
Always good to make jokes at the end of the world. This actually happened just before Cherry does her thing. I remember because because when Cherry does her thing, her moment, she does the crab pose. The rocket goes underneath, and she kills the soldier that fired the rocket.
Oh, that's
She's posing, and then El Rey comes into shot and is about to shoot a soldier that's about to shoot Cherry. The soldier turns around and pops El Rey a couple of times in the chest. And he collapses.
Yeah, that's right. That's it.
And we get a nice heartfelt moment of El Rey unfortunately dying in Cherry's arms.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm just literally ticking off my notes here, which was oh look, physics doesn't apply here. How does this gun leg work? I don't know. I don't care. It's cool. The gun leg is amazing. It's just all these things because it was just a great. It's just a great bit in this film.
Yeah.
Only real special effects can achieve a headshot like that.
You don't need to worry about the gun leg. You just don't need to worry about it.
No, it's just fantastic. And again, the head explosion thing. It's great because I'm sure if we slowed it down, the footage of it down long enough, it would be another mannequin that they would swap so they could get that.
Oh, they did
that real effect of. I would assume that's great. It's lovely.
Yeah.
And again, that's why. Now obviously with certain horror films, they use CGI, it looks cool. There are some where it does look cool, but I gotta admit, I'm just a fan of like The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, all these old school monsters and special effects, because it just looks so much cooler. The fact that you could have it there in your face, going, "Oh, this is great! I can touch this." Oh,
it might be a model, but it's still real. It's still a real thing rather than a computer-generated thing. So it will still always look better than CGI, no matter what.
One of the best cases of it is special effects, isn't it? It's not, special effects.
It's always still classed
that I ever heard was, again, it was John Carpenter's The Thing, and definitely go check this. Don't watch the sequel, because the sequel's not as good.
It's a prequel.
Or prequel, I guess. Yeah. It's a prequel, yeah. And it's the moment where he's going to shock the body of the guy who's on the defibrillator, and he puts his hand in, the mouth opens, and it goes.
Yeah, the chest opens as a mouth. Yeah.
And I sat there, and for years I was like, "Oh, this is amazing! I wonder how they did that." It was just fantastic. It was years later that I found out that to do that, they got a guy who was an amputee.
Yep.
To wear these like blood and gut type arms to put it in, but the problem they had was that when they had the plastic teeth of the monster, they wouldn't pierce the skin, so it's an actual working like bear trap.
Yeah, pretty much.
And even the guy who had to stick his arms in was like, because even he was like, if I go too far, it's going to actually get my arms.
Yeah, he was a double amputee.
That was CGI.
Double amputee with two prosthetic forearms on. It's the best way to do it. Beautiful. The best way to do it. It will always be the best way to do it. No, CGI
I think
will
we'll
never
have to
be.
do an episode on. We'll have to do an episode on horror movie like special effects.
Oh, no doubt.
Because I think there would just be some great moments in there.
The best, some of our favourite horror special effects moments. We'll definitely.
Yes.
That's easily in the pipeline. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyway, back to El Rey dying, which of course is where it's obviously it's a sad scene. You think, oh damn, the hero, which to be fair, actually is in contrast to most 1970s films.
Yeah.
The hero never died.
Yeah.
The hero always survived. So El Rey dying was a bit of a, didn't see that coming. All right.
He's not the only hero though. You could put him and Cherry as the joint heroes, really.
Oh yeah, joint hero. Yeah, it would be. Usually, though, at that time, I suppose if you had the heroes of the film...
There was never a strong female presence, really.
No, not in the 1970s, let's be honest. But the heroes and heroines of those films would survive.
Yeah.
However, obviously, he doesn't in this case. But not before she says, how will I live in this world without you? He goes, don't worry, I never miss. You're like, oh, you dirty bugger.
Referring back to their... love-making scene back at JT.
Their missing scene.
Their missing
scene romp that they had.
While
she's like, cool.
While they are, while she's holding him down, while he's dying in her arms, we have the helicopter scene where the other survivors have gone to rush to the helicopters. There's two. Skip goes to pilot one, and one of the babysitter twins are arguing about just sitting in the co-pilot's chair.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But the second helicopter, Dakota runs to, and Doc Block is inside it somehow. He's just been waiting there the whole time. What if she never got in that helicopter? What if they never got? He'd just be, where is she? She's meant to be here by now. Is that her? No, that's not her. He was just sat at the back waiting for her. And also, Earl McGraw turns up again. Her dad.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
It's all wrapped up in a nice little package in this one random helicopter at the army base.
For a guy that was like, I never want to see you again, he keeps popping up. It's like, I never want to see you again. Gets to JT's diner. Oh, hey, darling. Never going to see you again. Gets to the army base. Oh, hey, darling. Never going to see you again. It's like, Dad, you'll probably see me in 10 minutes.
He's just trying to act tough. That's all he's doing.
Yeah. But I'm going to make my own way. And then he gets like, right, where's the back door of this helicopter?
He popped away, Dot Block. Never to be seen again, but who knows. And they all escape on one helicopter. Which is weird because I don't know why everyone went to this first one and she sort of just ran off.
Doesn't one of the helicopters get blown up?
I don't remember off the top of my... No, because there are two when they get there. There are two. Yeah. But they all run to one, but she just runs off to this second one. I'm not really sure why. It doesn't matter. They don't use it in the end. It was just a place to end her story with her husband and her father, basically.
Yeah. Maybe she could sense that he was there or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
But maybe he was doing some sicko mind telepathy. I don't know.
When they do take off in the helicopter, I love... This was such a... It's clever, but such a simple thing. They take off in the helicopter. They've got a bunch of sickos running towards them. And Skip directs the helicopter down a little bit as if the blades are pointing down to the ground.
Yeah.
And he starts flying towards them. And I love the moment the sickos realise that, oh, shit. They suddenly stumble, turn around and start running away as the helicopter is chopping them up. It's fantastic. It's a brilliant shot.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah. And they all get diced up by the helicopter blades.
Is that supposed to be doing that? Nope. Oh, crap.
So yeah,
it's a beautiful. And then you got to give it. You got to give it to Cherry because all the years she's done the go-go dancing gives her incredible strength in her hand to just hold on to that rope as she's just being flown around the air. After a while, I'll be like, you might want to get in a helicopter because your grip is gonna go.
Yeah, that was again another don't worry, it's fine when the helicopter's above Cherry and Dakota's calling for her as Elray dies. And he actually does die. Right. You see him die. And they lower down the rope and she just grabs onto it. Doesn't wrap it round her, just grabs on.
No.
And that is some incredible upper body strength.
Thing is, if this is before Skip does the downwards thing, you'd think he's just picked her up and gone, ooh, what the? So she'd be getting dragged on the tarmac.
Yeah, pretty much. If she did it then, yeah.
just reach up and they get slammed on the floor again.
And then we that's it. Pretty much, we flash forward to them trying to survive.
Later,
I don't think it specifies exactly when, but the world is messed up.
It's post 9 months because obviously she's got the baby at that point, so it is 9 months at least.
Yeah, and
if I remember correctly, the world is gone at that point. It is. Yeah, it's an apocalypse.
The world is a shit show, and something we actually forgot to mention earlier is that when they're talking about what to do, Elray's plan is to go to Mexico. His plan was to go to Mexico, put your backs against the water, which is also quite a shit plan in my eyes. Why bottleneck yourself in? So they do end up going to Mexico, and they actually go to a place called Tulum, and there's a great aerial shot of ruin, these ancient Aztec ruins on the beach, and when the camera in the helicopter pans around these ruins, you see people on the beach. It's not the cast or crew. Rodriguez just went there to get the shot. That's just tourists. Right. Because when they do a shot of the survivors on the beach, that's a green screen. They never actually took the crew there. He just went there to get the footage of the Aztec ruins. They CGI'd the helicopter just down on the ruins like they'd landed, and that was it. They never went there to film on location.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
May as well.
It's like, fuck you, I'm going to Mexico to do a nice shoot. You can stay here on green screen on a fake beach.
May as well. I mean, yeah.
Save the money.
But, of course, before that, we do get the great moment where we have one of the sickos comes out the side and Cherry does her thing.
Oh, I forgot.
But, of course, she's done some El-Rayan of herself and she's given herself a minigun leg, which she just obliterates this sicko to pieces.
She's MacGyvered her leg into a chain gun. It's incredible.
It's just great. So I think, okay, cool. Puts her leg down. Onwards. And just casually keeps riding.
It very much made me think instantly of Machine Girl. If you've ever seen Machine Girl, it's a Japanese, I wouldn't say horror, it's a Japanese gore fest with a girl similar to this, loses a limb and she gets a chain gun put onto her arm. Basically,
What's the one where she no, not that. I want to Machine Girl. Is it Machine Girl film?
Machine Girl, yeah, it's a Japanese.
What's the one where it is that one? I was thinking of it. Yeah, it is that one. The Machine Girl, that was it.
In fact, do I have it here? It's in storage. I have it on a special edition DVD somewhere. It's somewhere, but yeah, it's a cracking film. Highly recommend it. And that is it. And it ends. I think it ends perfectly with a shot of Cherry on the horse, because they're living
very much
post-apocalyptic,
Lawrence of Arabia style.
Yeah, she's on a horse, but on the back is her and El Rey's kid. And the phrase that was used throughout the film between her and El Rey is 2 against the world, baby.
That's
and then
right.
it cuts and ends. Perfect ending.
Yeah, it's a fantastic film. It's a, I don't know if it was a, what's the word? Is it double? No, not double, triple. What's the word? I mean, it's got a lot of A-list names in the film.
Yeah.
But it's made to look like a B-list film. It's made to look like the kind of film that when they made it, the studio looked at it and went, no, you cannot release that in the cinemas. No. You can release it in the cinemas, but it's going to be 1 a.m.
Yeah. You could say it's definitely an A-list film. It's just the context of it is not for the majority of these times, I'd say. It's not, people don't get it. That's why I would highly recommend this film, but I wouldn't actually recommend Grindhouse and say to people, no, you have to watch them back to back. You have to. I would only recommend that to like a hardcore film nerd, like, I know, us, or horror nerds. I'd say if you want something fun to watch that's gory, silly, and just fun, it's just fun, go watch Planet Terror. I love it. I love everything about it. I love Grindhouse. I just love it. Love it.
I mean, this is easily one of my favorite films, just because it's a simple film. It's got a simple plot,
very simple,
but it was so creative with the way they did the edits. It's like, right, we're gonna make it look like we've lost the reels. We're gonna make it look like the film's burning up, the film's scratching.
Yep.
Forget continuity. We don't care about that. If someone goes, well, how did that happen? It goes, oh, I don't know. Who cares? They just did away with it. And actually, when you go into the film knowing that, even like exactly when Cherry launches herself into the air with the grenade launcher, in a serious film, you'd sit there going, she'd blow her leg up.
Yeah.
But in this, yeah, I wish I had one of those.
Yeah, you kind of just accept it after a while. It's like, of course she did. Of course, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
No. It's fantastic. There is a bit of trivia that I kept because there is a reference to, obviously there's Death Proof and Planet Terror also, made to go together. Yep. So of course sometimes you would have certain cast members appearing in each of them, but there is a little reference to Death Proof in Planet Terror
on the radio.
Very on the radio, yes, very quick, where Dakota changes the radio station and we get to hear the DJ going, this is for the dearly departed Jungle Julia. Yeah. And of course, if like we said, when most people didn't realize they had to watch the second film, would just be like, well, it's just some radio station. It was only when they would then watch Death Proof going, well, hang on, that's Jungle Julia. Yeah. Is this in the same world? This is in the same world. Oh.
And that's what's also weird about that, is that because Planet Terror was put first. So if someone did pick up on that, then went to watch Planet Terror, it will kind of be a bit of a spoiler. Like, hang on.
Yeah.
What, does she die?
I just heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also kind of suggests that if these two are in the same world, that the events of Death Proof have happened just before Planet Terror.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
It's great.
It's great. Can't say enough good things about it. Highly recommend it. Go watch. Yeah. And if you've really enjoyed this, do go watch Grindhouse and the fake trailers. Do try and make the whole experience, because it is an experience and you'll love it.
Oh, you really will.
Oh God, that took 2 parts. I don't think we can do any more.
No, I don't think we can. I think we've covered not Death Proof, Planet Terror in its entirety. It had to be done. This is obviously part 1 of your birthday hijack, shall we say?
We'll pause the birthday hijack and come back to Death Proof in the future. We have plenty to get through soon. Next,
we do
being X. Yep. We need to finally get on to X.
Yes. It was such a good film.
Yeah. Ty West's not breakout hit, but big hit. A kind of sleeper hit of the horror of the year.
Sleeper hit, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, we briefly touched upon this, I think, when we did our horror films we've seen of the year so far.
Yeah.
And even back then, after we just seen it, we were itching to get this done.
And
but of course, when we've also now got Pearl coming out, you got to do it.
Just timed too well. So hopefully, the podcast will continue. We took a little break, as we do. Life is busy. Hopefully, the schedule will be coming up X and then straight after Pearl. And then maybe a spooky clown after.
Yes.
I think maybe there will be a spooky clown after. I know you're excited about that.
Yeah, we know there is. Oh,
so
God, I can't wait to do Terrifier.
Plenty of good stuff to come. Plenty of good stuff to come. All right, it's time we get out of here.
It is, yes.
Again, you can find us on Spotify. Go watch Planet Terror. You should probably go watch Planet Terror.
Yeah, go watch Planet Terror, and you can find us at guess all our social medias. You usually do this bit, but I'm going to do it for now for some reason. I know you like doing the social medias. You can find us on Instagram at the Dreadcast. You can find us on TikTok at the Dreadcast, no underscore, as I've made sure I remember now. You can also find us on Gmail at the Dreadcastpodcast at gmail.com.
That's the one we forget. That's the one we forget.
That is the one we forget. We do, yes. You can't find us on Twitter. You can only find us on our personal Twitters, which are below in the comments box down there. And you can find us on all of the audio bits. Apple.
Here we go.
Oh, God. Apple.
Here we go.
Amazon,
Here we go. Gave it the big
Podbean,
one. Yeah.
Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon.
The one we're going to be on
Spotify,
with this in video
YouTube.
form. There we go.
Oh,
there we go. You got them all. Yeah.
Usually
all the big hitters. All the big hitters, basically.
All the big hitters. Yes.
So yeah.
You can find all our great content.
All our great content.
So what, you can do the outro this time. So until the next time.
Stay.
Stay
Stay creepy.